Hi, folks. I'm Steve Adubato. One of the great things about this show, and we look forward to getting back into the WNET Tisch Lincoln Center studio because it's right around Broadway. But even if it's remote, we're bringing you Broadway. It's toward the end of 2021. There's some great shows, and one of them is Tina, the Tina Turner musical, and we're honored to have Dawnn Lewis, who is in Tina. She plays Selma Bullock, who is Tina's mom, correct?
Yes, absolutely correct.
First of all, we're honored to have you, and thank you for joining us on public broadcasting.
My absolute pleasure. I grew up on PBS. I love PBS. My introduction to PBS was like the Children's Television Workshop way back in the day with Sesame.
There it is.
Yep, I was in the 3rd grade and got to do a little guest appearance on Sesame Street with Jim Henson and the Muppets.
You were on?
Well, it wasn't technically the show. They came and did a presentation at my public school, PS9 in Brooklyn, New York. Yes, so I got to meet Jim Henson and work with some of the Muppets, and I played cello at the time. It was fantastic. It was an awesome experience, and PBS has been a part of my life ever since. So I'm grateful for all the programming, the amazing programming that you guys commit yourself to doing.
Our colleagues do important work. Hey, let me ask you this, Dawnn. For those who, again, the Tina Turner musical, a great musical, a powerful story, you relate to Tina Turner's story on so many levels. You talked about growing up in Brooklyn. Your dad was a police officer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he was.
But you grew up, and you've told our producers, and you've said this publicly, you've been an advocate of protecting those who are victims of violence, domestic violence. You grew up in a home where you said your dad, while he was a cop and a hero in the neighborhood, if you will, it was an abusive home.
It was an abusive home. That was a very challenging time for people of color here in this country. Well, it's been a challenging time for people of color for generations, but particularly in the 60s coming up, where civil rights activism and people really becoming more outspoken about their place in the world. We were just very challenged with being empowered seemingly in one area while feeling powerless for completely other reasons. And I can't speak for what was exactly in my dad's mind at the time, but to your point, on one hand, he was this amazing hero serving the community. But at home, his frustrations, his anxieties, his whatever it was taken out on my mom and my brothers and myself. So coming up, my mom finally got to a point where she felt like she had to save herself. And in order to save herself and ultimately save her kids, she left us. And we didn't see our mom for about 1.5 years. Very much like Selma Bullock. She was in a home with domestic violence. Her husband was the pastor in the community. So he was a community leader. So in the community, he was one thing, but at home, he was something very different. So the thought of leaving your children behind today to save yourself, a lot of people wouldn't agree with that. But at the time, that's what was the reality for women in this country, and not just women of color, but women in general, being a very patriarchal society. So I relate wholeheartedly. And because of my mom, I'm the person that I am today. Because of my brothers, we learned to not only survive, but thrive through a very, very dangerous upbringing. And grace of God, before he passed, my dad learned to be a better person, and change his ways and change his life. So I'm grateful for that.
Hey, Mom, don't be offended. My mom, who watches every night on one-on-one, but to my sisters, myself, I can understand and appreciate a fair amount of what you just shared. I'm just going to leave it at that. Growing up in Newark, New Jersey, and I understand to a degree. That being said, how hard is it?
Steve, just real quick, what helps in us telling these stories and telling stories like Tina is that it lets other people know it's not just them. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. And especially if you're a kid, it's not your fault. Do you know what I mean? And when you hear us, like us in our positions, what we've accomplished today, be able to share that honestly, it not only heals us, but it heals others as well.
But how hard is it? I'm sorry for interrupting, Dawnn, but how hard is it for you to have lived what you've lived, to share what you just shared is what it is, then to play the role that you play in Tina, the Tina Turner musical, knowing what you know about Tina Turner, playing her mom here, is it hard for you on a human, personal level, or do you somehow separate your life, your life experiences from your work as an artist?
You know what? I don't really separate it. I use it to empower me. I have nothing but respect and honor for my mom. And again, like I said, by today's standards, you may consider my mom or Zelma a villain, and they're not. They are brave women who survived and did what they could to help their kids. So I try to bring that kind of humanity to Zelma. Yes, she was a challenged human being for a lot of reasons. And her and Tina's relationship was very challenged right to the end for a lot of reasons. But these are human beings. So I try to bring that element of humanity and understanding to Zelma. So no, I don't shy away from it at all. I embrace it and use it to fuel me show after show.
I did not share this in the beginning. I'll share it now. Dawnn Lewis is also a Grammy Award-winning singer. So you recognize her for a lot of reasons. But one of them is she starred in the 1990s sitcom A Different World. I mean, what a show, right? But you also wrote the theme song for that show.
I did.
When did you know that you had a gift from above to have this extraordinary voice? When did you know?
4 years old. I sang my 4 years old. 4 years old. I sang my very first concert. And I actually bombed because I was so scared on stage. I was phenomenal in rehearsals. And once I got in stage in front of the audience, I was so terrified. I got through the song and vowed I would never be that scared again. And then just a couple of years later, when I was in elementary school, I got the Sesame Street opportunity. And person after person, praise God for public school teachers. It's a thankless job. It's a difficult job. But what they are able to speak into the lives of encouragement of kids growing up in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, again, knowing now some of my backstory of what my home environment was, there was a lot going on, and I was bullied. So from the time I was young, it was spoken into me that I possessed something special, and to try my best to tune out all the negative, destructive things and focus on the things that made me special, including my name, which I always hated.
Really?
I never liked my name because all my friends
Dawnn?
had Dawn. I thought it was so simple. I thought it was so boring. My friends had names like Michelle and Stephanie and Nicola. And I was like, Dawn is boring, until my teachers explained to me, he says, but Dawn, every day has a dawn. You are the beginning, the first light, the best thing about every day. You give every day hope. And I was like, wow, yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. And my name has two N's on it. So I've learned to love and embrace my name, which is why I named my foundation the A New Day Foundation. It's a play on my name, Dawn.
Put up the New Day Foundation website. Tell us what it is, Dawnn, please.
The A New Day Foundation is a nonprofit organization that I started several years ago where we give hope and empowerment as well as financial and programmatic support to underserved youth and communities here in the U.S. as well as abroad. We've taken programs as far away as India and South America, where my family is from, Guyana.
Wow. Hey, before I let you go, I'm looking forward to, as I said, with my wife, to coming to see Tina, the Tina Turner musical. Where is it? Let everyone know.
We are at the Lunt-Fontanne Theater on 46th Street, right across the street from Hamilton, across the street from Ain't Too Proud to Beg. So while you're down watching Broadway shows, come on and check us out. And remember, no matter what you see me do on stage, I'm the nice one.
Hey, but real quick, we're toward the end of 2021. What does it mean to you personally to be performing live on Broadway after what all of us, particularly you and your colleagues, have gone through in this pandemic? What does it mean to be out there and to see that audience?
There's nothing better than a live performance, a live audience, being in the moment. Each show, even if you've seen it before, brings something different every night. I'm so proud of our Broadway community, how they are doing everything in their utmost to be safe on stage with all of our COVID protocols, with regular testing, wearing masks. When we're not on stage, our audiences come and they respect the environment, and they too are committed to wearing masks during the performance. It's not comfortable, it's not usual, but it's where we are right now. And so being able to come back together and find a way to do it safely just means the world, because we cannot survive without the arts, especially the live arts.
That's Dawnn Lewis. She plays Zelma Bullock in Tina, the Tina Turner musical. She's a Grammy Award-winning singer. at the Lunfontaine Theater. I can't thank you enough. You honor us on public broadcasting by joining us. All the best to you and your family and the cast. Thank you, Dawnn.
Thank you. Can I say one quick thing? In addition to the Grammy, this year I was also inducted into the Women's Songwriters Hall of Fame in Washington, D.C. Thank you. Alongside Roberta Flack, Valerie Simpson, Naomi Judd. I mean, it was.
Wow, a bunch of underachievers.
A bunch of underachievers. And this, yes.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Dawnn.
Thank you
well
so much.
Well deserved. Thanks so much.
Take care. Bye, Steve.
You got it. I'm Steve Adubato. More importantly, that's Dawnn Lewis. We'll be right back after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by University Hospital, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, the New Jersey Education Association, the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, PSC&G, Johnson & Johnson, Choose New Jersey, and by Fedway Associates, Inc. Promotional support provided by NJ.com and by New Jersey Monthly.
I'm Miles, and this is what I work for. To be my best for them and for me, in body and in mind. I need a health insurer that helps me get the care I need for both, that has mental health professionals that I can talk to when I need to, because when I feel strong and secure, so do they. This is my life, and this is how Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey works for me.